I am so excited for today because we are just having a day at home of decluttering and refreshing our home. This was something that I try to do basically every single quarter, just go through everything and see what we no longer need in terms of decluttering, organizing. But I usually do this before we have big moves too. And because our last move was just so sudden and happened really unexpectedly, really quickly, I feel like we didn't properly get to go through everything and really make sure we only brought things into this new place that we wanted to have here. And so today I'm doing a little bit of a delayed decluttering session. If you've been watching my channel for a while, I really got into kind of minimalism and that sort of thing a couple years ago. And I would say that I'm not as committed, if you will, to living just like a fully minimal lifestyle like I was back then, but I still like to use a lot of those same principles of really only having things that bring joy. And I personally feel a lot more chaotic and easily distracted when there's just a lot of clutter everywhere. And so this is something that I do try to do every single quarter or so, and that's what we're doing today. But there are a few other things that I want to do in this video too, so I'll run you guys through the list of everything I want to accomplish today. I went ahead and made a list on my phone, but to start off, I want to actually wash our bedding. So this is something I do pretty much weekly, I would say, but we need to do that today, but I want to start that so that has time to wash. I want to clean out our fridge and organize it. I want to organize and declutter our pantry. That's a big one because this new pantry just doesn't really have a lot of organization. It's a very strange layout, so we're going to go through that. I want to organize under our sink. That's another crazy area right now. And then something that I also like to do for our couch and our carpet is refresh it with baking soda, where you mix some baking soda and a little bit of essential oils. It leaves a really nice scent on the couch and our carpets. This is something that I found from Kristen Johns. I've been doing this for a few years now, and I always love doing that, probably like once a quarter or so. And then under our TV, we have these boxes that I want to go through and organize those. I want to organize above our washer. That's another area where I got some baskets to put some stuff in. And then also just go through clothing. So that's a big one, just going through the closet. Sometimes I'll sell stuff on Poshmark, sometimes I won't, but we'll see what we have and just run through those. But like I mentioned, I think I'm gonna go ahead and start off with the bedding and get that washed and then move over to the kitchen. I did want to note that the jumpsuit that I'm wearing is actually from Free People, and it is so comfortable. It's not the most flattering thing. It kind of is like a giant bag on your body, but it is so comfortable. You can wear it alone, but it does kind of go down right here. So I like to throw on a little shirt under it, but I'll have this link down below because it is the best outfit for decluttering, roaming around the house, getting stuff done. So side note, while I'm taking these sheets off, I wanted to note that our linen duvet cover is actually from Amazon, and we've had this for probably a few weeks now, and it is so nice. It's so much more affordable than a lot of the like other linen bedding that's out there, and it just washes so well, and I find that every time we wash it, it gets so much softer. So this is on my Amazon storefront, but I wanted to note that because I got a couple of questions of if we actually like it. This is the natural color and we love it. It is so comfortable and just so breathable too, because we often get a little bit hot when we sleep at night. Okay, I just put the sheets in the wash, and now we're gonna move over to the pantry. So this is the state of the pantry right now. It is just the weirdest setup to organize because these shelves are so narrow. There's just not a lot of space to fit things in. And so I have a lot of these plastic tubs, and I feel like when we first moved, I just threw a bunch of stuff in here, and I don't necessarily think we need all this stuff, and there's just not a ton of organization. There's also a cabinet up here, and then obviously that one is not organized. This is an area that we use all the time, but for some reason it just has been ending up like this recently. So I don't know how well I'm gonna be able to organize everything. I didn't get a ton of new containers, but I want to go through here and just get rid of stuff and then also see if we can have a better system here.
Whenever you're lonely, just pick up the phone and call me. I'll be there. Girl, let me show you. You're my one and only, like I told you. I'll be
Okay, I just finished. Here is our after. I went ahead and just kept our air fryer under there along with Cash's dog food. And then this is kind of the organization system I have. It doesn't look that different, but I got rid of a lot of stuff that we just don't need and then grouped things better. So here I'm just gonna keep like our snacks and stuff. We honestly don't have a lot right now. Usually this is a lot more full. We have rice here, nuts. These are our supplements and everything. We have oatmeal there. I use oats all the time, so I like to keep those up there. And then up here, kind of the things that I just don't use as much because we do have to take out the step stool to get up there. But I have a lot of cooking stuff like broths and such. Pasta, we don't really cook with a ton of pasta, so I just kept that up there. Some teas, and then up at the top is all of our canned goods, which I like to keep just in case something crazy happens. It's nice to have those, and so I have quite a few cans up there. But this looks a lot better than it did before, even though it's still not ideal. I still miss our old pantry where you could really see everything, but for now, I think this works. And then here's what our baking cabinet looks like. This is another one that is very just hard to organize. If you saw my last one, it was so organized, I could see everything. So this one is just not as ideal. I'm almost wondering if I could switch these two, because this is where like our mugs are and everything. But I feel like we have too many of these too to do that. So it's just kind of hard. I'll see what we can do, but I do know I like to put all of our flowers and everything into glass jars. So I have a couple of these where I'm just gonna refill. Some of these are running low too, so I'm just gonna refill them and make sure everything has a glass jar container. Aiden was on a work call, so I wasn't really talking too much, but I just did a lot of organization in the kitchen, a lot of underneath our cabinets. So I'll show you guys that really quick. So underneath here was pretty much a disaster before, and I basically just minimized what was in here so it made more sense. I have one of these pan racks up there, which helps too, just to make some space. These are things that I don't use too often, except the bowls. Those are my only mixing bowls I have. This looks so much better under here. This is all of our cleaning stuff, extra paper towels. I'm trying to weed through a lot of these more like unnatural cleaners, but I'm just trying to use them up. I could probably just get rid of them. I also have zip ties for something that I'm about to do. I wanted to clarify. And then this was a big shift I did because under here, this was a junk drawer, but I basically just put stuff that I use pretty frequently. So food processor or mixer, my bread baskets, my electric kettle. And then under here, this looks a lot better. I need to put all my pan lids because it actually has a rack when you get the set of pans. I'm blanking on the name of my pans. I'll put them on the screen, but it comes with something you can stick on the side, but I lost the little stickers, so I need to grab those because those are just above the fridge right now. And now I am just working on organizing these racks right here. This has turned into a bunch of junk baskets, so I'm just trying to reorganize everything. I think I'm gonna hang up a hook to hook our reusable bags, but I think that that'll just make it a little bit easier. We also have a lot of stuff out here, so let's... Okay, here's what we're working with now. It looks so much better. I also love that I hung these up. So basically we have all of our bags inside of this bag, but I just keep that hung up there on a little rack. And then this is all my laundry stuff that I have in here. And then we have our tools and stuff, our pickleball rackets. That bin is for Cash. It's a lot of Cash's stuff, also Cash's stuff. And then there is some miscellaneous candles and stuff that I like to have if people come over. So looks so much better. I always like to utilize this space because, and also ideally I would like if all these baskets match, but I think it's so much more important to just use what you have rather than focusing on aesthetics because it uses less waste. And that's just something that I'm trying to be more mindful handful of. So just gonna deal with the mismatched baskets right now. I'm in the mood to take a break from decluttering, so I'm gonna go ahead and do the baking soda refresh to the couch, our carpets, and also our mattress. I love doing this. It's really simple. I'll have the instructions right here. They're from Kristen Johns, like I mentioned, but essentially all you need is some essential oils. You can use whichever ones you have, and then just some classic baking soda. And I just do whatever amount. I don't really measure these things at all. It depends on how much you want to do, but because I am doing quite a few different areas, I'm gonna go ahead and do a lot. I'm using lavender since lavender is okay with dogs, and Cash spends a lot of time on our carpets and then also our couch. But you just kind of do some drops, mix it in. Again, you can measure these things out, but I just kind of do whatever. And for the couch, there's a couple ways you can do it. You can actually just take off all of the cushions and do the base of the couch. I will also do that sometimes, but I actually want to refresh the cushions themselves instead of doing the base. So I'm just gonna do this right on top of the cushions. You do have to be careful with your vacuum cleaner because it can affect your vacuum cleaner and it can clog it. And I would just say to not use a ton of baking soda because that can also clog your vacuum. So proceed with caution. I've just heard people say this breaks their vacuum. I've not had an issue with it yet, but I also try to just not use too much baking soda. So I will literally go through here and just break up these clumps. As you can see, it does clump a little bit, and just make sure that there aren't any big chunks to help keep my vacuum alive and running. I also want to note that I have Cash in our bedroom right now while this sits, because it's going to sit for about 10 to 15 minutes or so before I vacuum it up, but I obviously don't want him to eat this, and so I'm just gonna let him sit in the bedroom. He's not here. Also, this rug is from Ruggable. I'll sometimes get questions, and that is where it's from. And while that's sitting, I have a really random thing I forgot to mention on the list, but my Monstera is overflowing right now. I can't tell if it's wilting or if it is just growing a lot, but I'm gonna zip tie a few of these onto, there's like a wooden pole on there because it is just falling over. And this is another form of clutter to me. Like, I love my plants, but this thing is taking over our apartment right now, right here. And so I ordered some zip ties, so I'm just gonna go ahead and tie some of these up onto the wooden branch so it's a little bit more compact. That is what they did when I bought it, so I'm just gonna go ahead and do that. This is another thing that I like to do for our couch, because honestly, just having a white couch in general is a lot of upkeep. I think it's worth it. I love the look of having a white couch. So I'm gonna use this. This is a D pillar. I just got this from Amazon. I'll have this linked to on my storefront because I'm trying to keep up with that more. Unintentionally, but Cash sometimes does kind of rip apart our couch with his nails. So I'm gonna go ahead and use this on our couch. And then when you remove this, you can see all of here. Woo! Those just all fell. That was a fail. But you can see right there, those are all like the de-pillings, which is super gross, but it's also kind of satisfying, so. Under here we have a few different bins with like electronic stuff, and then in here is a lot of Cash's old toys and just like random stuff. And so I'm gonna figure out what I want to keep under the TV, because ideally I just like to keep this box and then put these over in the closet because they don't really need to be out here, and I feel like they're just taking up space and could be stored better somewhere else. So I just took a little lunch break, and now we are going to move on to doing the mattress. So I'm doing the same baking soda treatment that I did over on the couch and our carpet and our rug. I'm going to go do it over in our bedroom. I'm going to do the carpet and then also our mattress, and then put the fresh sheets on because those are also done drying. It's a little dark in here because I am in our closet, and I'm going to go through my clothes now. This is something that I do also like to do every quarter, and I feel like I've kind of gone back and forth with this on if I like having a lot of clothes, if I don't like having a lot of clothes. Like I had mentioned, there was a phase back, I would say like a year and a half ago, where I just did not like to have a lot of clothes. I wanted to purge everything, and then I realized when I did that I also missed having options. And so right now I feel like I'm in a place where I kind of like having balance with everything. I do my Nuuly rentals, so I get a few pieces a month that I get to rent every month, and then there are also pieces that I buy myself, so like my jumpsuit that I'm wearing, things that I anticipate myself wearing for the long term. We also moved into an apartment that had a much bigger closet, and I think there's always a temptation just to like fill it and accumulate stuff, but I know probably in our next home we're not gonna have a closet this big, and so I just want to make sure to only keep things that I really like to have. I also used to use Poshmark pretty adamantly, and to be totally honest, I just don't have the time to do Poshmark right now, and also I do get some clothes for free, so those things I don't like to make money off of since I do get them for free, and if I do list something on Poshmark that I did get for free, I try to donate the money or do something like that. So this time I'm not going to do Poshmark. I just don't have the time. I am on a journey right now of simplifying my life again and not overbooking myself with stuff that in the long term I know people really appreciate the Poshmark and like purchasing clothes off there, but I just don't have time for that right now, and that's not the thing that's going to serve me best. With my whole like hormonal health journey that I'm on right now, I'm really trying to pick and choose what I fill my life with, and that is something that would probably take close to 5 hours to do, and it's just not the thing that I think is going to serve me best. So long story short, I'm going to donate these clothes, but I'm going to go through here. I'm also coming out with a vlog talking about this more, but I just don't fit into a lot of these clothes anymore. A lot of these clothes I've had 5 years, and I am not the same size that I was 5 years ago. I have gotten stronger, I've gained more muscle, I've also gained more fat, and I think it's totally okay to just revise your closet and only keep the pieces that make you feel comfortable when you wear them. And there are a lot of things that I just don't have my 18-year-old body anymore. So I'm ready to kind of purge those things, and I would encourage you to do the same. I think this is one of the things that I find to be the most uplifting when I do. So we're gonna go ahead and just go through the closet, see what we want to keep, see what we don't want to keep. Here's an example of jeans that I've had in my closet for so long that just don't flatter me anymore. They do not fit. Like, these are just not my body anymore. So we're gonna put these away. Something that I'll say that I'm pretty good at when it comes to like decluttering and minimizing my life is not purchasing souvenirs. I'm not someone who, like, when I visit somewhere, feels the need to get like keychains or I don't know, just stuff like that, which I think is totally fine if that's your thing. That's just not something that brings me joy personally. But the thing that I have a bad habit of is buying sweatshirts every place that I go, which I guess technically is still a souvenir, but I have so many sweatshirts from places that we go to because they always just look so comfy and cozy. Like this is one I recently got from Watch Hill that I love. It's so comfortable. That's always a thing that I mainly have to declutter because I have like 20 different sweatshirts from places that we've gone to over the past couple of years, and I just don't need all of these. And I usually end up wearing Aiden's sweatshirts too because his are just really comfortable. That's always like a mental note when I'm decluttering. I try to realize the stuff that I'm decluttering so in the future I have less to declutter, because I think it's one thing to just like declutter every season and just keep being wasteful with kind of like getting rid of stuff versus actually decluttering and then taking mental notes of, okay, next time I'm going to try not to do this so you don't have to declutter as much next time. Just something that I like to do personally for my process. If souvenirs bring you joy, that totally is your thing. I think you just have to find what brings you joy, and for me it's not really those things, but I do love me a good sweatshirt. Okay, so most of the things I ended up decluttering, like I mentioned, are jeans. We have actually quite a few pairs of jeans like these. This is another pair that I haven't had for too long, but they just don't fit anymore. And those things are tight and they give me wedgies, so those are going out. These I've had for probably 3 years. Those are out. And then this pair I think I have had since my freshman year of college. So yeah, these are going out because they just don't fit me anymore. And then like I mentioned, the other things that I have are just sweatshirts. So I really feel like I've gotten better at not buying clothes that I don't actually want to keep. So a lot of like my blouses and stuff like that, I feel like I've done a good job. Skirt, yeah, I think I've gotten better over the years with trying to learn my body and learn what I like to wear and what I like to keep. I'm recording this clip in the closet because Aiden's on a call and I'm trying to be quiet, but I'm also going to go through our bathroom drawers. This is an area that tends to get cluttered very easily, especially under the sink, and so I'm going to go in and organize under there. I do have quite a bit of PR stuff that I want to go through, and I usually keep that in a box, and if anyone comes over I will just let them go through it and pick whatever they want. Just makes it easy to get rid of things that I no longer need and I'm not using, so we're gonna do that. I will insert a clip of what they look like right here. So they're not the most organized thing in the world and definitely need just to go through and refine what we have under there. So let's do it. Okay, I just finished the bathroom, so I'll show a little after shot. It looks much better under here especially. So kept all my hair scarves here. I've accumulated so many and I honestly wear all these, so I kept them all here instead of hanging them up like they were before. And then these are just a couple go-to necklaces, my dry brush, and then a bunch of kind of extra products that I have that I will be using eventually, so I just have those under there. Under here, this one is like some of Aiden's extra stuff, but also just extra bags that we have, random stuff under here, but definitely looks a lot better than it was before. I also ended up moving our eucalyptus out here instead of under the shower because I attached this pet hose for cleaning cash onto our shower, and I actually ended up messing with our shower a little bit, so we need to get that fixed. I think it's just not screwed on right, and so for now, like the little knob fell off too, so I need to move the eucalyptus over there once that gets fixed, but for now it's just hanging up here. today's video. That was basically everything I wanted to accomplish, so it feels good to have a much just more organized place. And yeah, I really love doing this. It makes me always appreciate my home more when I can go to certain places and I don't feel stressed when things are everywhere and everything just has somewhat of a place. I'm not the most organized person. As you can tell, I don't have like the best methods in the world, but for me, I feel like this is the best way for me to just keep our home organized, and it always feels good doing this once every quarter. So I hope this video inspired you to do the same. I know that everyone's different with how often they like to do something like this, but for me, it always kind of helps me get into the right mental space and just focus on the things that actually matter when I feel like my home doesn't stress me out. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you guys are having a great day, and I'll catch you guys in my next video. Bye, friends.